Whoa, dude. Huh? Did you hear the news about the zombies? Zombies? Wait, where are you going? Inside of us. Zombie cells. Inside of us. Wait, what? What was your plan with this anyway? I don't know, like something like that. This is embarrassing. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we have a very, very special horror edition. Yes, horror. Where we will be talking about the zombies within us. Our zombie cells. Cue the music. All right, enough. We are talking about one of the emerging hallmarks and accelerators of aging. Something that if you have an interest in longevity, which I know you do, you should be aware of. So you can, as always, put yourself in the very best position to be successful. So we'll be breaking down what these zombie cells, otherwise known as senescent cells, are, the science behind why they accumulate, the reasons why their accumulation is a problem, and end with some strategies on how you could get on the preventive with these little guys. Because we all know the best offense is a good prevent fence. That went differently inside my head. At least I'm consistently cringy. Okay, first, what exactly are zombie cells or senescent cells? Cellular senescence is defined as irreversible cell cycle arrest. In the non-technical terms, our cells get lazy and they stop dividing. And then they get bored and start causing trouble. Teenagers. This is thought to be driven by a variety of different mechanisms, including telomere shortening, which are the protective caps on the end of our chromosomes, genotoxic stress, DNA damage, and inflammation. And believe it or not, cellular senescence isn't all that bad. Here's why. When we break it down on a cellular level, we know that our cells continuously divide, right? Passing on our DNA and its specific expression to keep our body operating optimally. But over time, due to a number of different driving causes, our cells can get damaged. DNA could get damaged. Mitochondria can become leaky. Whatever it is, the health of our cell becomes compromised. And the last thing we want is some damaged cell going rogue and dividing, right? Passing along its insults and mutations that could potentially lead to a bigger systemic problem, like cancer. So our body, the survival machine that it is, stops this division. Awesome, right? Yeah. Until it's not. And here's where things get a little fuzzy, complicated, extra baggage, whatever you want to call it. When we're younger, the immune system, acting as an eager, ambitious go-getter fresh out of college, seems to be able to take care of these cells, wiping them off the biological scene. But as we age, and as a byproduct of probably not paying enough attention to our health as we should, which we'll talk about, we simply have more time for these insults to develop. And when we live the typical disease-promoting Western lifestyle, we often develop a tired, weakened, overactive immune system, basically paving the way for cellular senescence and adding fuel to the inflammatory fire within. Animal models have shown that as senescent cells accumulate, their inflammatory secretions can compromise a mouse's immune system, leaving it to be more prone to an overaccumulation of senescent cells. And aged mice with a weakened immune system display an impaired ability to defend themselves from cellular senescence when compared to younger mice. And guess what happens when researchers take senescent cells from older mice and they put them in younger mice? They age abnormally fast right before their eyes. Yikes. Inflammaging, here we come. These senescent cells are especially dangerous because they escape our last line of cellular defense: programmed cell death, otherwise known as apoptosis. As you could probably calculate by now, cells that just sit there, never die, and secrete inflammatory molecules aren't great for business. Their prevalence drives one of the biggest longevity liabilities that we all face: low-dose chronic inflammation. And if you've watched any of our longevity videos, you know that this is a hot topic on this channel. We cover the damaging effects of chronic inflammation and its role in age acceleration in many other videos, which I will link all below. So if you got some time, check them out. So now that we know what these zombie cells are and why they're a problem, how do we stop them? Everyone getting their zombie weapons ready? All right, quick, pause the video, put your zombie weapon of choice in the comments. I'm gonna check them out. The person who has the best cellular zombie weapon, so it needs to be something that we're gonna talk about, wins, they're gonna win something. We'll figure it out. If you haven't already noticed, or if you're new here, it's no surprise that we focus pretty heavily on prevention, getting ahead of potential issues before they arise, putting ourselves in the best possible position to stay as healthy as possible for as long as possible. So what can we do? First, let's talk sweat, exercise. We know it's good for us. We know it makes us feel good. So let's just do it, right? A study published in the journal Diabetes suggests that exercise can prevent diet-induced cellular senescence and metabolic dysfunction in adipose tissue in mice. Here, researchers fed mice a fast food, very Western-like, high-fat, high-refined sugar diet and found that mice that exercise had reduced cellular senescent counts. Exercise has also been shown to be a promoter of one of the other forms of cellular death. Actually, cellular recycling, but kind of similar. A process known as autophagy. Autophagy is the process that recycles weak, damaged, leaky cells in times of stress. Stress like exercise. What's another type of stress? Planned nutrient deprivation. Enter fasting. Enter fasting. Fasting, intermittent or prolonged, both meaning over 24 hours, is one of the most proven ways to turn on autophagy. We talk all about it on the fully loaded How to Fast playlist on this channel. So if you're interested, check it out, links below. But let me tell you this, that's not all fasting does. There is more, my friend. It also activates DNA protective enzymes such as the sirtuin enzymes, and has been shown to lower oxidative stress within the body. Not by eating less, but by strategically timing your meals. The research to date indicates that the sweet spot to start getting a lot of these benefits is somewhere between 36 and 48 hours in humans. But remember, this must be done in a safe way. Never go from 0 to 100 just like that. Slow and sustainable, and always talk to your doctor. And there's your obligatory disclaimer. Next, let's talk risk mitigation with food. As we discussed in previous videos, the food we consume has direct impacts on the inflammation levels in our body. So why put yourself in a compromised state by eating inflammation-promoting, highly processed foods? I mean, come on. I know they taste good, but we pay for it. And we know we can adjust our taste, right? Eat more real, build up that strong gut wall, Yada, yada, yada. Take it away, George, Elaine, Jerry, Kramer.
Yada, yada, yada. I never heard from him again.
See the How to Eat playlist if you need some extra convincing on why the food we consume is pretty important. Oh yeah, and just to, complete the circle, prioritize your sleep. Please, pretty please. When you do, it aids healing. When you don't, it promotes disease. Full playlist on this as well if you need some convincing. Links below. So, let's recap. We just covered some of the top preventative things that we can do through lifestyle habits. Is there anything else? Yes, there is. But it's not quite ready for prime time yet. But let's talk about it. There is a class of pharmaceuticals being developed called Synalytics. These are a class of drugs that trigger our programmed cell death. You remember that apoptosis thing? Research has shown that a senolytic cocktail of dasatinib and quercetin, the latter of which is a phytochemical found in plants, effectively and selectively eliminates senescent cells. These drugs trigger apoptosis in slow-to-die zombie cells. Now, important note here, to date this has only been shown in animal models, displaying that this cocktail alleviated physical dysfunction and increased late life survival in aged mice. Pretty darn interesting. And just so we're on the same page here, mice are not humans, right? Cool. So although intriguing, this is still very preliminary and requires proper human trials to prove its efficacy and safety, which I'm sure we'll begin seeing sometime in the next 10 years, maybe sooner. Thus, in conclusion, the best and the safest strategy is prevention. So don't wait, start now. Start building and executing against your strategy for longevity today. It's the daily micro habits that dictate macro successes. We're playing the long game here. Start slow and build on it. Healthy habits build on healthy habits, and the most important thing of all is to make it sustainable. Because if it's not sustainable, what the hell are we doing it for? As always, let me know what comments, questions, any random thoughts you have down below. Who would have thought we have this real life zombie apocalypse happening, inside of us? The only question is, what's your weapon of choice? Bring it, zombies.